Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Locums Lunch and Learn with Dr. Stephanie. I am Dr. Stephanie. I am your double board certified critical care physician who works with physicians that are struggling with their jobs, burnt out with their careers, or who just want some career advice. Through my books, webinars, coaching, and speaking, I help physicians discover alternative jobs and careers in medicine so that they can practice medicine on their own terms. And welcome to this Thursday's edition of Locums Lunch and Learn. So I just decided to hop on Facebook and do Facebook Lives a couple of days during the week, whenever, around lunchtime, depending on your time zone. So we can just have a chat and talk about some things that are kind of near and dear to my heart. I do have a favor though. If you're watching me live, let me know, say hi to me. If you are watching me on replay, type replay. If you like a comment, press the like button. If you love it, press the love button. Please feel free to tag anybody that you think may need to hear this information. And please feel free to share this Facebook Live as you see fit. I'm so happy to be here, and I thank you all for joining me. So like I said, Locums Lunch and Learn, and one of the things that I want to talk to you all, which is near and dear to my heart, is 3 reasons why you should start looking for a new job right now. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because there are so many stories in the media, in the medical community, about doctors losing their jobs unexpectedly. And I want us to be empowered, and I want us all to kind of stay ahead of the curve. So what I want to talk about is 3 reasons why every physician should start looking for a new job right now. Now, let me give you a disclaimer. I'm not saying to quit your job. I'm not saying to do anything crazy, but I am saying you need to get back in the job market, and we're going to talk about 3 reasons why you need to do it. So the first reason why every physician needs to start looking for a new job right this second is because there is no such thing as a permanent job. Let me repeat that. There is no such thing as a permanent job. And I want my new doctors to get this in your spirit. I don't care if you just signed a 1-year contract, a 3-year contract, a 5-year contract, or a 10-year contract. Your contract does not mean you have a permanent job. And this is what I mean by that. Every contract for an employed physician has a termination clause in it. And that termination clause typically means that either party can terminate the contract with either a 30 or 60 or 90-day notice, or whatever the termination notice is, that either party can terminate that contract without cause. So what that means is you can walk into work today and they can tell you that your position has been eliminated, and as of 30, 60, or 90 days, you no longer have a job. So your contract, even if there was a 3-year contract, depending on your termination clause, if you have a 90-day termination clause, you technically only have a 90-day contract, which is what that is. And so I want you to realize that no job is stable, no job is permanent, and you can be terminated at any time. And then, given the unstable nature of the medical marketplace, I know you guys hear all the time about organizations restructuring and downsizing. Well, guess what? That means physicians are being restructured and downsized right out of their jobs. And it's happening a lot. So just imagine this scenario. Now, I'm not wishing this on anybody, but if you talk to any physicians, if we all are honest with each other, more often than not, this has happened. Imagine you get called into a meeting today at work, or at any time at work, and you walk into that meeting and your medical director is sitting there along with a person from human resources, and they tell you that there's been some organizational changes, there's been some restructuring, and that your position has been eliminated. Now, if this were to happen to you, would you be able to start working a new job in 30, 60, or 90 days? Would you be able to leave that job and transition to another job just like that? If your answer is, I don't know, no, I don't think so, then chances are you need to kind of get back into the medical marketplace right now, so that if this happens to you, it's going to be a shock, it's going to hurt your feelings, but at least you have already started the process and have some feelers out there so that you can make obtaining your next job a little less stressful and a little less painful. So, like I said, the number one reason why every physician needs to start looking for another job right this second is because there's no such thing as a permanent job. I do have a business degree. I have an MBA. That was one of the best things that I ever did, and I will never forget this as long as I live. One of our professors told us this, and this has always stuck with me. He said to our class, and just by the way, if you guys want to know where I got my MBA, I got my MBA from Auburn University's Physician Executive MBA program. It's an excellent program. If you want any extra information about that, please message me, because if you are considering doing something like that, I highly recommend it. But this is what our professor told us. He said, medicine is an inefficient marketplace. Inefficient markets consolidate. And so that's why you're seeing so many mergers, acquisitions, restructuring. So many, organizations are going bankrupt. They're getting bought out by different organizations, and they all come in and restructure and consolidate. So medicine is an inefficient marketplace. Inefficient marketplaces consolidate, and doctors are being restructured, downsized, and consolidated right out of jobs. And so that is why you should always just have a healthy dose of reality and realize that nobody is above this happening. So therefore, in order to mitigate the risk of you being downsized, it's always a good idea to actively be in a job marketplace, actively be searching for a job. So if this happens to you, you will already be ahead of the game. The second reason why every doctor needs to start looking for another job right now is because you need to know what's going on in the medical marketplace. So often, we work our jobs, and we physicians work hard, we work long hours, and it's so easy to kind of bury our heads in the sand and, I'm a critical care doctor, I'm going to do my 15-12s this week, this month, and that's all I care about. But meanwhile, there are things happening in the medical marketplace that are going to impact my ability to work as an intensivist, impact the jobs available as an intensivist, and I need to know that. Likewise, there are things going on in your specialty and in your area of expertise that are happening right now, that are on the horizon for the next 12 months, 5 years, 10 years. And the way that you know what these trends are is to be in the marketplace and to look at the job boards and look and say, they're offering telemedicine for a hospitalist. I wonder what that's about. How's that going to impact me? I'm seeing a lot of, job openings for mid-levels in this area and in this specialty. I wonder how that's going to impact me. Or, there's some, non-clinical jobs that are seeming to be real popular. I wonder if that's something I'm interested in. Or even, I'm looking and I'm reading about this artificial intelligence stuff. How is that going to impact me as a physician? The only way you're going to be able to know these things, one of the ways that you're going to be able to know about what's going on in the medical marketplace, is for you to be actively in the medical marketplace. So that means you got to update your CV, put your CV out there, start having some real conversations with physician recruiters, locums companies, other physician recruiters, because they kind of have a handle on what's going on in the marketplace. And also talk to your colleagues about what they're seeing and the trends that they're seeing, because one thing that you don't want to happen is for you to get caught off guard. And so the way to know what's going on in the medical marketplace is to be in the medical marketplace and, just to be actively looking for other opportunities. So like I said, number one, number one reason why you need to be actively looking for another job is because there's no such thing as a permanent job. Second reason why you need to look for another job is because you need to know what's going on in the medical marketplace. And the third reason why you should look for another job, or you should always be in the medical marketplace, is that looking for another job gives you leverage. And what this does is it gives you information, gives you information about what other physicians in your specialty and in your area are making, how some of their contracts are structured. But in addition to that, when you start talking to other people who work in different organizations, you kind of maybe get an idea of how they do things. And if that's something, how they do things is a little different or a little better than what your organization is doing, that might be something that you can bring back to your organization. So like I said, looking for a new job gives you leverage because it gives you information about how other people do things, and then that you can use that information to your advantage. So, I will say this. I'm all about helping physicians be empowered regardless of what your job situation is. Now, I have to say this because I'm telling you guys to get back in the job market and start looking for new jobs. I'm not telling you to quit your current job. I'm not telling you to make some changes or start acting crazy with your current jobs, because Dr. Freeman cannot pay your bills, okay? So just so we know this, Dr. Freeman cannot pay your bills. I'm not telling you to quit. But I do want us to all be in a situation so that if the time comes for us to make a career transition, either by choice or by force, we won't be taken off guard. We won't be caught off guard. So that's what I want us all to do, is to be empowered and to be knowledgeable. So just a quick recap. 3 reasons why you should start looking for another job right now. I didn't say you should quit your job, but just start looking for another one, because there's no such thing as a permanent job. Medicine is an inefficient marketplace. Inefficient marketplaces consolidate. So physicians are being restructured, reorganized, and downsized right out of their current jobs. So therefore, you need to be a step ahead of the game. Remember that your current employment contract is only as good as your termination clause. So therefore, if you have a 30, 60, or 90-day termination clause that states that they can terminate you without cause, given a 30, 60, or 90-day notice, that technically is the length of your contract. Next reason why you need to be looking for another job, or just put your feelers out there, is because you need to know what's going on in the medical marketplace. And the only reason, the way to know that is to try to, get out there and to know what's going on. And then looking for another job gives you leverage in terms of, compensation, salary, how other organizations are structured, and some of the things that you may be able to learn from them and take back to your organization. And, I just want you all to be empowered. So that if and when the time comes for you to have to make a career transition, you're not caught off guard, you're not scared, you're empowered because you already have started gathering some information. So for those of you who are interested in doing locums and seeing how locums can kind of help with a career transition, either temporarily, or if you're interested in even doing locums as a permanent career like I have, be sure to download your free copy of my locums ebook called Locum Tenens, Your Questions Answered. And that is the website that you can go to download your free copy of my locums ebook. And also, for those of you physicians who are interested in locum tenens, please join my Facebook group called Creating Careers in Medicine. We have a lot of good discussions about all things as it pertains to doing locums. So if you're interested in joining that, and this is for physicians only, you can search it. It's searchable on Facebook. So Creating Careers in Medicine. And then here is the link to the group, bit.ly, Creating Careers in Medicine. So I do thank you so much for joining me for our Locums Lunch and Learn. I am Dr. Stephanie, and we will talk soon. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.